What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another predicted lineup for our second look at Ange Ball, and I cannot wait. I don't think I've been so excited about pre-season in a long time. I mean, we lost 3-2 to West Ham, but I think the football was all there for everyone to see. And we saw two different lineups in this game against West Ham from the first half and the second half. I think it might be a bit different in this game. I think Ange did say that he will give players 60 to 70 minutes in this upcoming game against Leicester, which is 11 o'clock kickoff out in Thailand, 11 a.m. on Sunday. So we'll be here for the watch along. But without further ado, let's get into the predicted lineup. 4-3-3, as Ange likes to play. In goal will obviously be Vicario.
Yeah, who else? Didn't have the best first game against West Ham, but I don't think it should be kind of focused too much. A couple of negative moments. He didn't have too much to do in general, so look, he's our number one going to the season, so it was obviously going to start. Yeah,
so that's Vicario in goal. In terms of right back, we are going to stick with the same right back that did start against West Ham, which was Pedro Porro.
Yeah, and I thought he was okay. I think he came under a bit of criticism for maybe his defensive ability, which, you know, that's nothing new. I think going forward he was all right, so hopefully he's a bit more effective in this game when he gets in those positions.
Alongside him on the right-hand side of the defence will be Christian Romero. I mean, with Romero, you're talking about the only real competent centre-back at the club at the moment.
Yeah, so hopefully he doesn't pick up an injury, otherwise we really are screwed. So, but yeah, I think the way we play as well, we're going to need someone like Romero at the back.
Alongside him, we are going to stick with the same partner that he did have in the first half against West Ham, which was Japhet Tanganga.
Yeah, it was interesting to see him go with Tanganga from the start, considering we all expect Tanganga to leave this summer. Didn't have the best game either, but maybe he can fine-tune his on-the-ball ability, and then all of a sudden you might have a decent defender there.
Do you think that out of the defenders that we do have at our disposal, so you're looking at Tanganga, Dyer, Ben Davis and Davinson Sanchez, out of those four, do you think he's the one that's most suited to that role in this squad?
Profile-wise, I do, yeah. I think got strength, he's got a bit of pace as well, and I think defensively he does the job, but on the ball, that's just a big question mark. But I do think you probably want him there rather than Ben Davis.
I'd agree with that. And then to make up that back four on the left-hand side, we're going to go for Destiny UDOGIE, who didn't start the first half, but he did start the second half, and he was one of the standout performers of the day.
Yeah, and he had a much better performance, in my opinion, than Reguilon, so it would be interesting. I think he's earned a start in this game. I want to see him take over from Reguilon's spot.
So let's run through that defence with you guys one more time. So in goal will be Vicario, right back Pedro Porro, right centre-back Cuti Romero, left centre-back Japhet Tanganga, and then on the left-hand side will be Destiny UDOGIE. In the number 6, we are going to stick with Yves Bissouma. Again, he was one of the standout performers of the day, and he seems to be central to everything that Ange wants to do this season, so I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, and Ange has apparently continued to reiterated to Bissouma how important he's going to be this season. So I think he's going to need as much time in that 6th position to learn the role as possible. So I think for sure he starts this game.
To make another player in midfield we're going to talk about, it was a toss-up really between Skip and Pape Matar Sarr, but we have sided with Pape Matar Sarr just because we feel like he's got a bit more of the attributes that maybe Ange wants to see in that position.
And I thought it was a bit more impressive than Skip as well, despite the fact that I think Skip was probably doing a lot what Ange was telling him to do, but I thought Sarr in the second half really provided a bit more energy and a bit more quality. So I want to see a bit more of him in the number 8, and maybe he impressed enough for Ange to start him in this game. So we've gone with Sarr.
And to make up that midfield 3, we are sticking with James Maddison, who started on the left-hand side of that midfield 3 in the first half. Didn't have the greatest displays, but I would say that he was kind of getting himself into the game at the latter stages of that first half and then got taken off. So hopefully it'll be good to see a bit more of him in maybe whilst he's a bit more settled.
Yeah, and despite the fact, obviously, Lo Celso definitely had a better game than him, we know that Maddison's the future of this club, and Lo Celso more than likely is still heading out the door. So I think Maddison needs as much minutes in that role to learn the role as possible. So Maddison's definitely going to be starting in this one.
Yeah, so that's quite an exciting midfield 3, to be fair. I'm quite excited to see how that one pans out with Bissouma, Maddison and Sarr. On the right-hand side of the attack, we are going to stick with Dejan Kulusevski. I thought he looked fairly good, to be honest, in the first half against West Ham, but you know, you still do expect more from him.
Yeah, I think there were some really nice touches, and I do think when the play gets clicking and everyone starts learning their positions, when he's in that central role, we saw a few really nice turns and twists in really tight spaces, opening up a lot of space in the penalty box, and he just didn't pick out the right option. But we know Kulusevski has that in his locker, and I do think it's sooner rather than later going to start clicking for him.
Yeah, absolutely. On the left-hand side of the attack, I actually think it could be a toss-up between Perisic and Solomon. We have sided with Solomon for this first half of this game, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if we were to see Perisic start this game.
Yeah, I think Perisic, you could argue Perisic had a better game than Solomon last time, even though Solomon was quite impressive. But again, Solomon definitely is going to be here this season. We know that. We just signed him, and he's going to be a player who's going to be quite important to us. And with Perisic's future, it's still very much up in the air. So I think Ange is definitely going to side with players who we know is going to be here. So I think Solomon definitely starts.
You know, at the back end of last season, I was convinced that Perisic is leaving and that he wouldn't get a look in this season. But I mean, looking at his attributes and looking at what Ange wants from that specific position, I think he actually suits it.
I think so as well. And look, he had a good World Cup. He actually had a good end to the season, didn't he, when he was playing? I remember against Man United, he had a really good game. Against Liverpool at Anfield, he had a good game. So maybe playing him in left wing might all of a sudden give us some more options there. So maybe that is something else to look at instead of just cancelling his contract or whatever was being considered.
Yeah, completely agree. And then to make up that final 11, obviously up top is going to be Harry Kane. Maybe a chance for Richarlison to start this game?
There's always a chance in pre-season, but I do think Kane is going to start. I think he's the main man. I think he'll cause too many headlines if he's left out in this one. So I think he gets the nod, especially with all the talk this week. Him not signing contract and everything. I think Ange will want a show of solidarity by having him in the 11.
Yeah. So how do you think that midfield three will handle Harry Winks on Sunday?
I think they're going to struggle, man. He's going to give him a tough ride, but I think I'll just about cope.
All right, so let's run through that predicted lineup with you guys one more time. So in goal will be Vicario, our brand new goalkeeper. Right back will be Pedro Porro. Right centre back, Cuti Romero. Left centre back, Japhet Tanganga. Left back, Destiny Udogie. In the number 6 position, you're looking at Yves Bissouma. In the 2 number 8s, you've got Pape Matar and James Maddison. On the right-hand side of the attack, it's Dejan Kulusevski. On the left-hand side of the attack, it's Manor Solomon. And then up top is going to be Harry Kane. If this is the lineup, what's your score prediction going into this one?
In a weird way, I actually think the players Leicester have, they're probably more suited to like attacking us than West Ham were. With they still got players like Daka and Iheanacho, don't they, in the forward line, and Vardy as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester are able to catch us out a couple times. But I think as well, I wouldn't be surprised if their defence crumbles a lot more easily than West Ham. So I said 4-2 last time. I'm gonna go 5-2 Spurs.
5-2 Spurs.
5-2
I love
Spurs.
It. Goals. And I think that's what we're going to get on Sunday. I mean, we predicted goals for the Spurs-West Ham game. That's exactly what we got. I said 3-2 to Spurs, but it was 3-2 to West Ham. I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to go 4-2. Sim's gone 5-2. I've gone 4-2. And again, I'm so excited to see Spurs line up once again in this really attacking system that Ange Postecoglou likes to get us playing. And, we saw us kind of really get to grips with that system in the second half, and hopefully we'll see us absolutely deploy it from the off. And I'm looking at this game as maybe another step into maybe Ange getting a more settled system at Spurs. So that is our score predictions. That is our predicted lineup. Let me know in the comment section below what your score prediction and what your predicted lineup is. We'll be back here in the studio for kickoff. We'll be going live at 11:15 for the match watch along. So come and join us, and the post-match fan show after as well, where it's your chance to have your say. So we'll see you all there. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.